The round of 64. To some, getting here is an achievement. To others, it falls short of expectations. This is where pretenders meet contenders. This is where dark horses emerge and upsets are regular. This is where the big boys join in, and it starts tonight in BattleBots Reborn Cup. Introduction.
I should have known that's why you wanted to do the first bit of this. Hello everybody! Welcome to BattleBots Reborn Cup, Season 5, Episode 3. I am Nick, the Barangoat. This is Sam, the Samitha. Now, what is your next line, Sam?
Tonight we begin the round of 64.
I'm so proud of you. We're also proud of some of the bots that have made it to this point. This is the point of the tournament now where the big boys enter the ring. And you're going to recognize some of those big names that made it deep into last year's competition. I think we're now going to do a section of the bracket that's the most even. It's going to be a lot of fun. What do you think, Sam?
Yes.
Great standard answer.
Well, tonight we're going to start off with Warhead versus Hydra. The rookie flipper has stormed through 2 qualifiers to get here.
He's definitely stormed through and dominated his matches. The only problem with Hydra is that he's not really a knockout potential bot. That's what you usually get with flippers. He did get one knockout. It took him 2 minutes and 57 seconds or something like that. The other fight was a dominant decision win, but yeah, Hydra has shown a lot so far in his rookie season.
Warhead was once known for his incredible defense against flippers, which aided his run to the Season 2 semifinals.
In that season, he faced Little Sister and Biohazard and was able to get knockout victories against both of them. Last year, he put up an okay showing against Bronco when he lost, but this new Warhead design did seem to struggle to self-ride, and I do worry if he gets flipped in this match.
Who you got? The 5-season vet or the new guy?
Well, we did see in Hydra's first fight when he fought Axe backwards in round 1, he struggled with the heavy bot. Warhead's kind of heavy, I think, so I wouldn't be surprised if Hydra struggles a bit and Warhead gets damage while Hydra's struggling.
Alright, well let's see if Warhead's chubbiness can help him win. To the box.
Hey, women like dad bots now.
Dad bots now.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, this bot really hates losing, but at least his excuse won't be, I woke up today and sneezed 3 times. It's Warhead! In the blue square, if he was a GTA character, he'd be Stan the Waterman, and his new product is sweeping the nation. Drink up for Hydra!
Before we get started, here's a quick explanation of the rules. The rules for this competition are simple. Bots have 3 minutes to destroy or immobilize their opponent. If both bots are still active when the clock expires, the result will go to a panel of 3 judges that will score the fight on a 45-point system. 4 points for damage, 5 for aggression, and 6 for control and strategy. During the scoring process, judges are encouraged to show leniency to bots with non-damaging weapons. Furthermore, pins cannot last longer than 11 seconds, and Havoc glitches that flip a non-invertible bot will be restarted unless the fight has surpassed 2 minutes. Let the bot battle begin. We saw Warhead lose to a flipper last year. How will he combat the rookie? He's flipped early on and flipped over.
Looks like Warhead's struggling a little bit. Is this gonna be it?
Surely not this early. He was able to get up a few times against Bronco last year, but he is definitely not having fortune at this point. Hydra not sure what to do. He's waiting. The countdown has begun on Warhead. This could be it right now. Warhead doing his best.
Oh, lost a piece there.
Oh, and he started to flip over, but the count finished. Warhead is out. Well, not really the fight we were expecting from these two. Warhead flipped once, and that was it.
Yeah, Hydra got under him, flipped him, and at that end there, he flipped back, but the timer already ran out.
It's a real shame. Warhead's a fun bot to watch, but he will not be competing in this competition anymore. And Hydra grabs his third win.
Probably gonna be a huge upset for some of the fans, too.
Well, I guess I was wrong. Warhead lost some weight apparently this year, and who would have thought that was a bad thing?
Right?
Pretty quick, too. It was a quick loss.
It was interesting. Next up, we have Stinger versus Mobius. Another season, another brand new Stinger build.
This Stinger build is a lot bigger and beefier than last year's, and unfortunately we have an unknown builder for the first time, I think, in the cups. I don't know who built this. It was sent as Sewer Snake, got some modifications, and now here he is as Stinger.
Well, known as the Spinner Killer, Sting will be expected to handle Mobius's power.
And we saw what the extreme power of Mobius can do in the last round after he defeated Bloodsport fairly quickly. So Stinger's going to have to be on his A game and get some good shots early, try and flip the, I believe, non-invertible Mobius. This could be an interesting test for the Spinner.
Insert shoddy joke here. All right, down to the box we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, when this bot makes it rain, you'll feel more than physical pain. Better get something stronger than Novocaine. It's Stinger! In the blue square, don't let his pathetic real-life loss to Brutus distract you from the fact that he was once a highly feared middleweight. It's Mobius!
Let the bot battle begin. Another chance for Stinger to impress and make his way down through the bracket, but a tough match here for him to start.
He's letting Mobius get... Oh, there he flipped him a little bit. He's letting him speed up, it seems, a bit, but I don't know if that's a smart strategy to use. There goes a piece.
Well, not a good start here from Stinger, depending on how you look at it, by him losing a piece. Another flip as Mobius goes flying through the air. Stinger resets himself. Trying to line up another shot. Mobius tips over. Now we see if Mobius has the ability to right himself.
This might be it for Mobius.
He's spinning around crazily, but isn't really tipping to one side. Stinger waiting patiently.
It's getting close.
Surely the count will start any second, and there it is. Mobius has 10 seconds to figure it out, and his time is running out.
Stinger just lazily in the background watching as he secures a victory.
And there it is. Stinger has done it. Well, another fairly quick fight here as we take a look at the replays. Stinger had a game plan, and in the end, he was able to execute well.
Yeah, it was questionable as to whether or not it would work, letting him spin up, try and get underneath him, but in the end, like Nick said, it did.
It's almost as if he used the pace of the weapon to imbalance his opponent. It worked out pretty well for him. Well, you know, after a few years of trying, I think this might be the Stinger that actually makes some dents in the bracket. If he can put on a performance like that, I can't wait to see what he'll do in the next round.
Thank you, random bot submissions.
Yes, whoever you are, please claim it in the comments.
Everybody claim it.
No, please don't. Just one person.
Next up, we have Death Star versus Bite Force. The most controversial bot from last year is ready to rock and roll again.
If you guys are new to BattleBots Reborn Cup, we have never gone a season without, a controversial result. And last year in Season 4, Death Star benefiting from a Havoc glitch to spare him 40 seconds of fighting Chopper, which resulted in a split decision victory. It's probably the most controversial moment we've had in the series.
This brand new Bite Force has incredible ability, as we've seen so far in the qualifiers.
He's had 2 fights. He's had 2 very quick knockouts, 2 destructive knockouts. The new build here from Chris Caps, it's got a lot of power, it's got pace, it can run inverted. There's not a lot of weaknesses in Bite Force. We'll see if Death Star is the one that can expose it, because he is kind of an awkward design.
Well, let's see if the awkward design can win it. Down we go.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, this bot asked me to read you guys a message. I'm sorry about last year. I'm only here to cause havoc, not havoc glitches. Please don't hate me. Sincerely, Death Star! In the blue square, when he's done smashing your head in, you'll have CTE worse than Aaron Hernandez. It's Bite Force!
Let the bot battle begin. Bite Force, one of the legendary names in the world, but needs to translate that into some Reborn Cup success. See how Death Star does here with the boos ringing loud and clear.
Death Star has to worry about all of his weapons and motors coming off because they're independent from his chassis.
He's doing a good job kind of keeping Bite Force at bay, and that's not going to help his situation, losing one of the 4 saws.
I think you jinxed him, Nick, but he's doing a good job at kind of holding him in place.
This is what put him in a position to beat Helichopper last year before the Havoc glitch happened. He's doing everything he can. Bite Force getting to the side.
Oh, there goes another one of his weapons.
2 down, 2 to go. Death Star flipping around to face the other 2 towards Bite Force. He just keeps charging and charging. Got him up against the wall here, Death Star doing what he can to milk that clock. That's what he is best at. Bite Force charging again, he gets a 3rd saw. And at the rate it's going, Death Star won't last long enough to get the benefit from a Havoc glitch.
Even if he loses all of his weapons, the best that he can hope for as he loses more pieces is to just hold him at bay. Oh, there's another one.
He is now weaponless Death Star, and Bite Force underneath trying to maneuver his way to get to the underside there, but he lost the position. Look at that, we're only halfway through the fight, and Death Star is in major trouble here. There goes the final motor, but it didn't have a saw attached to it. Bite Force moving in again, and he's gonna flip Death Star for good measure, and that will seal this fight. No Havoc glitches needed this year. Death Star sitting there on the kill saws. How does Bite Force want to finish it? He wants the KO. He's not gonna wait for a 10-second countdown. Rubbing in his face. Bite Force wins. Well, let's take a look at the highlights here. This is Bite Force's 3rd win of the season, and another impressive knockout victory against a bot people will love to see be out of the competition.
Death Star could have pulled it off if he held him between his arms, but one after another he kept losing his weapons, motors, and eventually he got flipped. There wasn't much that he could do.
It seemed that Bite Force was able to recognize the strategy early on and then find a way to get around it. Death Star didn't have a chance.
Yeah, Bite Force really did use his mind as his benefit. He got in there, got stuck a couple of times, but then moved around and just won.
Well, the rookie builder is making one of the legends of the robot combat world look good in Reborn Cup. 3 good knockouts for Bite Force now.
Now we're gonna look at some highlighted fights.
You were waiting for me to speak, weren't you? Yes, here's the other stuff that you weren't going to see in full from this section of the bracket. So that knockout win for Bite Force means he will advance to the next round to take on Hydra. But how did the other matches in this section end up? Let's start off our coverage by looking at the lone flipper from last season's Final Four, Lucky. He took on fellow flipper Little Sister, who knew the task at hand would be a big one. As expected, Lucky wasted no time dispatching its yellow opponent, leaving Little Sister to rot. That result meant Gold Digger could have a chance at revenge on Lucky, if he could first get past Ghost Raptor. The match was even in the opening exchanges as both bots traded blows. But then Ghost Raptor struck the first significant damage, removing Gold Digger's weapon. Ghost Raptor sensed blood, but didn't sense the damage he sustained himself. After breaking his own weapon, the match petered out with a shove fest. After a lengthy discussion, the judges sided with Ghost Raptor. In the 6th match, Spinner's Poison Arrow and Witch Doctor lined up for a potentially entertaining duel. But it takes 2 to tango, and Poison Arrow offered very little attacking threat. Witch Doctor grabbed victory, just not in an expected way. And the final match saw the surprise package Overhaul, who snuck his way into last year's Sweet 16, fight a ferocious vertical spinner in Warhawk. Warhawk probed early on, sending warning signs. It seemed only a matter of time, until... After securing his shock victory, it's said that Overhaul headed for the casino, and he probably won big there as well. So with 7 results confirmed, only 1 match remains, tonight's main event. Let's go see which 2 bots will battle it out for the right to face Overhaul in the round of 32.
And now we're back for the main event of the night, Bronco versus Gigabyte. The Motherbucker Bronco is back and has his sights set on Cup glory.
It was quite the heartbreaking defeat Bronco suffered last year, losing in the quarterfinals to eventual finalist Cobalt. Bronco is back. He's looking for the opportunity to get to the final. He hasn't done it yet. Last year was the farthest he got, and I know people are pulling for him.
Well, Gigabyte's looking like a contender after 2 strong showings in the qualifiers.
That's right, Gigabyte had an abysmal Season 4 campaign with a quick loss in the qualifying rounds, but now he's got 2 knockout wins under his belt. Confidence is behind this machine.
Bronco was defeated by a spinner last year. How will that experience help him here?
Well, the big thing we always say when it's a flipper versus a spinner matchup is that the flipper has to pace themselves. They need to not rush in as often as they can in the opening 30 seconds. You gotta space out your attacks. So hopefully Bronco learned a little bit from the Cobalt loss and he can space it out better to get himself the win. But also Gigabyte might take too much damage to the self-righting pole that's on the top, and maybe Bronco doesn't have to pace himself. I don't know how it's gonna unfold actually.
Well, let's see who is the better driver.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, he's not competing in real life, so this is the only way to put that 0-4 season behind him. Introducing Bronco! In the blue square, give him time and he just might end your tournament tonight. Hope you're ready for this fight. You'll find it tough against Gigabyte!
Let the bot battle begin. Tonight's main event here, Bronco featured again, and Bronco underneath Gigabyte early on.
Gigabyte needs to do his best to stay afoot, hoping that he doesn't get flipped as much and getting rid of some vital pieces of Bronco, but he gets flipped again.
In fact, it looked like he went completely over the top there, upside down, and he managed to stay on his feet in the end. That'll leave Bronco a little furious as he starts to fall apart a little bit. Oh, big chunk ripped off by Gigabyte, slammed into the corner. Gigabyte knows as long as he's on his wheels, spinning and not getting flipped, he can slowly shave away and cause some damage.
Bronco's hoping to get underneath Gigabyte at this point as more pieces continue to fall.
Not even if Bronco gets a flip, as long as he's underneath, maybe that'll prevent Gigabyte from getting some of the damage. There's another flip, but pieces falling off Bronco left and right. Oh, and another big flip from Bronco. Gigabyte's still on his wheels somehow. It's a barrage of flips from Bronco. And Gigabyte refuses to be turned over. What a start to this fight we've had so far. Bronco moving in again, another flip. Another piece comes off. Gigabyte spinning around, still on his wheels.
Is that lost piece from Gigabyte going to cause an issue when he gets flipped?
Now with that self-righting stick a little bit broken, it could be an issue. Bronco with another impressive flip. Look at Gigabyte doing all kinds of somersaults in the air.
Oh, there's a wheel from Bronco.
I didn't even see when that came off. All of a sudden, Bronco down to 3 wheels. The entire front left side has been destroyed, and now Gigabyte upside down. Now we'll see how that damage will affect him. Bronco sitting and waiting. Is this the moment for him? Gigabyte still spinning. Bronco still waiting. The countdown has started on Gigabyte. This could be the end as more of the self-righting stick breaks off. The count is at 2. Gigabyte's on his wheels. Unbelievable! He's beaten the count and we fight on!
Gigabyte lost the rest of his self-righting piece, though.
I don't know how he's on his wheels right now. Bronco is incredibly upset, but he flips Gigabyte again! Could this be the moment? Gigabyte spinning around! Bronco waiting patiently. He's waiting for the refs to start the count. Gigabyte spinning out of control, trying everything he can to self-right. The count is at 7. Gigabyte turning, he's turned over again!
How is this even possible?
Can you believe the luck from Bronco right now? He cannot believe it. He's flipped Gigabyte a 3rd time, and Gigabyte self-rights a 3rd time! And Bronco is thrown across the arena! And he's not gonna be able to get up from that! What is happening? Absolute chaos! The clock hits 0! This is over!
Wow!
Wow. There's a lot to digest from this fight, and we're not even sure what's happening after the Havoc glitch at the end there. But I guess let's look at the replays now. Bronco with a lot of flips. Gigabyte slowly chipped away at him though as well.
Yeah, starting from the beginning, it looked like Bronco was doing incredibly well, kept flipping Gigabyte. Gigabyte kept self-righting, but eventually Gigabyte lost that self-righting piece bit by bit. Took off a lot of Bronco, actually. Bronco lost that wheel, and in the end, even without that self-righting piece, it ended sending to the judges.
It almost seemed like the count started late the first time Gigabyte was flipped over, but it was allowed to continue. Is this going the distance? We're going to a judge's decision, I think.
It's insane.
The results from the judges are in. And the winner, by a 26-19 decision, is Bronco!
Wow, what a match that was. It's a shame we must say goodbye to Gigabyte, but congratulations to Bronco. You're moving on.
Well, that was one hell of a main event with all the drama at the end there and the confusion, but congratulations to Bronco. You're on to the next round. That's all you're going to give him is a pity golf clap?
That is a golf clap.
It's still a pity clap. Congratulations to Bronco! We'll see you all next week, everybody.